live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am Jarrett, the football genius Burgess.
And I am Stephanie Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. the Advantage Coach.
And if you are a new listener, this is the Field to the Real podcast.
Yes. So everywhere, listen, I do these meet and greets. That's what I've been doing for like the last 2 weeks. And all of these different departments within the city of Charlotte, right?
Right.
And so I'm talking to an average of about probably about 30 to 50 people every time I go do one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always, it never fails. People are like, wait, you do a podcast? What is it called? I'm sure we getting some more people listening, because like people will walk up to me and be like, wait, is this it? And like, so yeah.
Yes, thank you, people.
Yes.
Thank you, new folks.
I hope they really
listen.
Yeah. And it's so funny because the majority of the people I'm meeting are men, and so they're just fascinated with the fact that I'm a woman doing a podcast. Yeah. So, love it.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
so
we have to start this podcast with some laughs.
Right, because listen, this has been a really hard week.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday started a spiral.
Yeah.
And it's just been a climb back up, basically, to even be in a spot to be able to laugh at this point, really.
Right.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't familiar, and I don't see how anybody could
be. Sports, non-sports, I don't care who you are.
Just the amount of reach that this man had globally.
Yeah.
If you weren't a fan of sports, it still had to affect you in some way. Not saying that you know, if it was just that it affected somebody you knew.
Right.
Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter Gigi, his 13-year-old Gigi, and 7 others lost their life tragically on Sunday.
Yeah.
In a helicopter crash while they were on their way to an AAU tournament at the Mamba Academy.
Yeah.
In Thousand Oaks, California.
Mm-hmm.
And just the news of it was just shocking. Because you told me.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you found out and where you were during the time.
So a friend of mine, it was her birthday, and we were out to brunch. You know, it was about maybe 10 of us. We were all laughing, joking, talking, and just all of a sudden her boyfriend goes, Kobe Bryant just died. And everybody at the table looked at him and was like, it was almost dismissive, like, yeah, right, because as you know, there's always a lot of death hoax that go on. People put stuff out all the time, and it's so cruel and evil. And so you just hope that's what it was. So we were like, nah, that ain't true. He was like, no, I think this is real. And so literally, the mood at the table instantly changed. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's like, wait, no, this can't be real. And I'm saying, till I see it on ESPN or CNN or one of these major reputable, I was like, I ain't believing it. I kept saying it, and I kept I kept refreshing my ESPN on my phone because I had an app. So I kept refreshing it, like, see, this ain't real. I kept saying that if this is real, because TMZ reported it first.
Right.
And so I'm like, while TMZ is credible to an extent, to a fault, kind of.
Yeah.
But until I see it on ESPN,
right.
When they say breaking news on ESPN about it, then I'm gonna be like, okay. And
Yeah.
it was probably about 10 minutes later. And I know that's because
Mhm.
ESPN did their due diligence to make sure that it was a credible story before they
Right.
reported on it.
Right.
And so when I saw it there, I was like, I think I was numb.
Yeah.
And literally her aunt, the friend whose birthday it was, her aunt was at the table. And she was like, this cannot be real. She said,
Mhm.
I gotta go, y'all. She was like, I need you to go home and lay down. I don't want to talk to nobody. She was like, I love this family. She said, I follow
Mhm.
Vanessa on Instagram. She was like, I feel like I'm a part of their family for some
Right.
reason, just because. And she said, I gotta go home. I can't stay. And so that was the end of the brunch. We just got, people just pretty much started paying their tickets. And it was, I mean, I came home and I had promised myself I'm not gonna watch anything else because I was like, I can't. I need to like digest what I just heard. But I said, so I watched the Pro Bowl. Well, of course, on the Pro Bowl, there they go. And then I turned it to ESPN like a dummy because I shouldn't have. And they start this whole thing. And so I think I cried for about an hour and a half, just straight, like, I can't believe this happened. Just, I mean, we don't ever question God, but there are times when you're like, him
You're
or
not
that
supposed
person.
to.
Like, I mean, not that I want to see anybody die, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, it's some jerks and you know what I mean? Like, it's some people, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, but him, I was like, okay, God, everything happens for a reason. And what?
No, I that made me think of a joke that D.L. Hughley, which is one of my favorite comedians.
Of course, with his
he said, and I think it was like right after Prince had passed. And he kind of had some of the same sentiments, like, Lord, are you sure? Like, why didn't you take Soulja Boy?
This one? Right.
And he said it to be funny, but
but I get it. Yeah, and that's what I said. I was like, this was like when Michael Jackson died to me.
Yeah.
Like the hit that I took was like, whoa, wow.
And it's funny. So to go into how I found out, like, obviously.
I'm sorry, Jarrett.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
in case you guys don't know,
you were the first person I needed. I knew I had to call. I had to get in touch with you. I knew that. I'm sitting at the table. I was like, I got to text Jarrett right now. Like,
yeah. And then the thing is, like, you prepared me for the news because you were like, I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
The first question you asked was like, did you hear about Kobe?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm just fresh off of Saturday night.
Yeah.
LeBron had just passed him, and I was thinking maybe he said something, maybe he had done something, And so I was like, nah, like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even fathom, like, that wasn't even
that was the last thing you would have ever thought, right? Yeah.
And so in the midst of you calling my group chat with my teammates, and I call them my teammates all the time when I say this, but it's really a group of friends who I play ball with at Howard, and we keep in touch constantly.
Your brothers, yeah.
Yeah. It lit up, and I looked, and I saw that, shout out to my boy, J-Boy, he had posted the TMZ link, and I'm looking at it say, Kobe dead as you're calling me. And I'm hearing you on the phone say there's been reports that Kobe died in a helicopter accident. Yeah. And I'm like, we're on the phone, and I'm like, nah. And I think I had even said to you, because our phone call was kind of brief. I think I had said to you, I'm watching the Merlin game as we're talking because I was at the gym.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of unplugged. I was at the gym, and I was sitting in the locker room, and they have a big screen TV right in the locker room. And I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to you, and I'm like, it hadn't even popped up on ESPN yet. Like, and so since I knew that TMZ had reported it, I was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? TMZ is always at a rush to get this news out. And so it's quite possible that they could have been wrong.
Right.
You know, and then folks in the gym started talking about it. We had gotten off the phone because you had called me pretty quickly after sending that text.
Yeah.
We had gotten off the phone, and so people at the gym started talking about it. And I'm like, nah, I need to see somebody reputable present this, like somebody like,
same thing
you know, ESPN hadn't reported it yet, like you had said. I got the CBS app on my phone, and I was refreshing it every couple of seconds, and it hadn't said anything. And I'm like, this cannot be true.
Yeah. And
then some other friends text, and they were like, yo, it just dropped on ESPN, because I had been watching this Maryland game the entire time I was sitting in the gym. It hit me so hard, and even though I didn't believe it, I couldn't even go work out. Like I ended up eventually, you know, getting the workout in, but it really hit me like a ton of bricks. Yeah. And, you know, it's important for me to say this part. I was not a huge fan of Kobe Bryant, and anybody who knows me, they know how I feel about Michael Jordan and how I feel about Kobe. But the one thing I can never dispute is that both of them were great. They were great at the game of basketball, and that kind of was the reason why I didn't like them, because, you know how DC enough. Yeah. You know, I'm a Redskins fan. I'm a Wizards fan. I'm a New York Yankees fan, but the Nationals came to DC in 2005, so I'm riding with them. I'm a Capitals fan. I'm a Mystics fan. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, they just, you know how they did my DC teams. And so I wasn't a big fan of them because of that. Yeah. Right. And the one thing that you can't deny, though, is that they were great basketball players. Listen. And it's funny, you know, I always talk about LeBron James and being the GOAT or whatever. And I'm only using that point to say that Kobe Bryant was more like Michael Jordan than any other player. Than anybody.
They both have had such a finesse game.
Yes.
Like,
it was so silky
basketball
smooth.
Was effortless for them.
Yeah.
It looked.
They made it look effortless.
You know the work that he put in.
Right.
You know the work that Kobe put in to make it look effortless on the court. But it just was. They both. That's what I think I loved about Kobe, is that his game was so much like Michael Jordan. Like, it was like, this is somebody who, you know, like I can look at him and I can see remnants of what Michael, you know what I mean? Because once he retired, I was devastated. Like, wait, well, basketball's not going to be the same. Who can be Michael Jordan? Right. You know what I mean? And to have him appear at 18 and, you know, watch 17. His evolution into 17 and watch his evolution into this, the Black Mamba. Right. Like, it was, it was amazing. And, you know, there was some not so good moments in there, some good moments in there. But the guy was, you know what, one of the things that I just have to say I always admired about him was his comfort level and confidence in being himself.
Yeah.
You know, this dude spoke Italian. He, you know what I mean? Like, your name is Kobe Bean Bryant. Like, you were destined to be different.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Just a few weeks ago when the Lakers were, I feel like the Lakers were playing the Dallas Mavericks, and Luka Doncic told a story about how he heard someone speaking, and I don't know what language he speaks. Yeah. He heard someone speaking in his language. And he turns around and it's Kobe.
Yeah.
Talking trash to him in his language.
Multiple languages. Yeah.
Right. And it just,
that's cool.
It speaks to just how global, you know, Kobe, just how much of a man of the world he was. And it's funny, I didn't even think about this until yesterday when I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast. Kobe was a rapper.
Yeah. Oh Lord, listen. He him and Shaq went and did something together when they were playing together. And he had, I think, what was he like? He was 17 or 18 when he tried to drop some kind of rap album or something back in the day.
No, he was a little older. I want to say he might have been 20. It was during, I think it was in the middle of those championship
years.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he was in his early 20s still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he, first of all, from 17 to the day he died, he ain't really looked no different.
Yeah, right.
He didn't age in all of those years.
He's definitely one of the vampires.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Like, they showed pictures of him when he was 17. I was like, that looked like Kobe the other day. Like, what? That look, okay.
You couldn't even tell. They had put on one thing on ESPN where he was talking when he was 17, and I didn't even know it because they had already displayed that part, and I just thought it was Kobe speaking recently. And they were like, it was when he was 17. And I was like, what?
What? Yeah. Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But you that dude, like you said when you first started, like his reach, basketball was like a fraction of who he was.
Yeah.
And his reach, like I said, they showed 3 clips on MSNBC, I believe it was. It was Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay.
And they were all talking about him, and literally, all 3 of them barely made it through the monologue. They were that distraught. And then to see, when Shaq was with his TNT group.
Yeah.
And Tracy McGrady, story after story, Doc Rivers, like.
You know what was one of the ones that kind of got me?
What?
Rick Fox.
I did not.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The Rick Fox one was especially tough because I don't know if you saw these reports.
Yeah, he was on the
But
helicopter.
it was reports that he was on a helicopter as well. Yeah. So he told the story of how when he found out about Kobe, he didn't answer his phone for a while.
Yeah.
And if you remember when Shaq was talking about it, he called Rick Fox because he heard.
Yep.
And Rick Fox didn't answer. So Rick Fox was telling the story about how he was talking to his family during this time and he didn't answer his phone until he saw that his best friend just continued to call. And I believe his best friend is the head coach of Iona right now.
Okay.
And when he finally answered the phone, his friend was bawling. And he was bawling, because Kobe passed away, but also happy that he answered the phone and knew that he wasn't on that helicopter with him. So that one really was tough to watch.
Yeah.
And
they're all tough for me, but yeah.
I think, it being tough to me, because I said in the beginning that I wasn't a big fan of Kobe Bryant, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't appreciate his greatness, because he did some stuff, and I used to be like, man, how you do that? And I'd be upset about it, but that's a testament to his greatness as a basketball player.
Right.
But I was a huge fan of Kobe Bryant, the family man.
Man, listen.
And the entrepreneur / venture capitalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that speaks to, and shameless plug of Field to the Real. I think that speaks to the type of man that we as, creators of Field to the Real, that speaks to the type of man that we want to turn out. Someone who he can be remembered for whatever he did on the court or whatever playing surface.
Right.
But people also acknowledge the type of man that he was.
That's right.
And I remember a few years ago, because I followed heavily the things that Kobe Bryant did after basketball. And let me not jump too far ahead because this was on.
Look, we ain't even did it. Who's really right?
Right.
While y'all might not know by now, this whole episode
is dedicated
to Kobe.
Yeah,
he deserves this.
Definitely.
He deserves this time from us. So yeah.
So
but yeah.
So this, if you know, I can't imagine that anyone who isn't anyone who is listening, wouldn't want to hear our perspective on Kobe. But just know that this entire episode is a Kobe Bryant episode.
It's a Kobe Bryant episode.
You know. So I actually, before I start talking about stuff that is a little farther down the line, let's jump into who's really right.
Okay.
And obviously this is a bit different than what we usually do. Because we don't really care who's really right on this one. But we both have, you know, different perspectives on what we think one of the greatest moments of Kobe's career was.
Yeah.
And so I've actually changed mine since we met.
Really now?
Yes, I've changed mine since we met.
You can't do that.
It's still different than yours.
Okay.
But I was watching some of his moments, and it made me remember some stuff, and I was like, oh, I gotta go with this.
Yeah.
But you know, as always, ladies first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's probably real in your face out there because it's one of those. It's just real simple for me, and it's kind of crazy that it's what I think is his greatest moment because it was his last moment as a basketball player. But I feel like his final game, and scoring 60 points, 22 of 50. You hoisted 50. Okay, let's not leave that part out.
That was synonymous with everybody's view on Kobe. Not passing the ball.
Not well. And that was his last game. So he was like, I'm getting them all in. Y'all can just stand around if you'd like.
Yeah.
But no, for real, he scored 60 points in his final game. And anybody who knows me and knows my philosophy on this podcast knows I'm a proponent of you going out on top.
Yeah.
I'm not a proponent of people waiting until their skills have diminished to the point where people can see it.
Right.
And so for him to, in his final game, score 60 points speaks volumes to me about the fact that he made an intelligent, intentional decision to quit playing basketball. It was not, I can't do it anymore. It was not, I'm not going to be the best anymore. It was simply, I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. I would like to go do. And so I think for me, that made that moment, that was the exclamation point or the drop of the mic. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, he literally, I just loved it. That's why I loved it. I mean, the 60 points was amazing, but the whole showmanship of that game for me, from him, it was like, it felt like he was like, I got something to prove. I'm going to show y'all that I'm still Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah. And I can still do
it, but I'm going to drop the mic and I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's, to me, that was ultimately so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that's like somebody winning the Super, like Tom Brady, had he done it when he won the last Super Bowl, and just peace out, I'm gone.
John Elway.
Good one. Yep.
Went right out.
Won
that Super Bowl.
Listen, I've done
and
it.
Waved to the crowd. I got 2 in a row. I'm going to holler at y'all.
See y'all. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know, so a story that I heard the other day about that game, and it speaks to the level of love that players have for Kobe. Gordon Hayward, because, you know, they played the Utah Jazz that game. Gordon Hayward said that he stepped in the lane on that last free throw that Kobe Bryant shot. Now, Kobe made the free throw, I believe. But he stepped in the lane because he was like, this is history. He was like, I'm going to make sure Kobe gets to this 60 points. So he stepped in the lane for a lane violation and tried to make sure that the referee saw it so that Kobe could get the 60 points, even though Kobe ended up not needing that. And he hit the free throw anyway.
Right.
But I thought that story just spoke to how much, like, folks loved Kobe.
Yeah,
and,
that's respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
So my moment is actually a smaller moment. You know, it's not a grandiose moment. I thought about, you know, what we had talked about on Monday was him winning a ring without Shaq. And I after thinking about it, I just didn't feel like that was an appropriate, you know what I'm saying, moment to speak about. Well, I probably shouldn't go through all of these, but the 81 points on Jalen Rose and company for the Toronto Raptors was my second place to this one. But this was such a small moment.
Okay.
But it embodied, I feel like, that whole Mamba mentality and that laser focus that everyone talks about. It was when Matt Barnes was taking the ball out and he acted like he was going to hit Kobe in the face with the ball, and the ball made it about maybe a half an inch away from his face. And you just see Kobe stepping from side to side.
Yep.
Not even bothered, still focused on Matt Barnes taking the ball out.
That's right.
And I think that right there, that was one of those moments that embodied that whole Mamba mentality, that laser focus.
Yeah.
Or it was an illustration of that. And so that's that right there, probably my favorite Kobe Bryant moment. Yeah. Because he, you know, I think about it, I'm like, you get that close to me, I'm a flinch. You know,
at
in
least
defense.
A little bit, something.
Right.
Something, yeah.
He was locked in and he didn't move at all.
Right.
You know. And so that right there is my my Kobe Bean Bryant.
I can respect that. Moment. All right. We're not even gonna ask who's really right. This is just
it's just
just our moment.
You don't have to vote on this one, guys.
No, we gotta vote. So
but what I don't want to get lost here, definitely there were 8 other people, you know, on that helicopter.
Yes.
And I think they all deserve to be remembered, to be remembered, to be memorialized.
Absolutely.
So I definitely want to push home a special, like, rest in peace to those folks.
Absolutely. And prayers to their families.
Prayers to their family, yes.
Like that dad, the coach the female coach,
Altobelli,
her husband raising 3 kids.
Oh no, yes, yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah. That's a big deal.
And they had 2 children who weren't even there.
Right.
With them, you know.
Right.
And so that's going to be tremendous. They lost the mom and the dad, and a sister.
Yeah.
And so I don't want them to get lost in all of this.
No. The last story, have you heard the latest story that came out? Again, I think this speaks to what I love so much about Kobe is being such a forward thinker and such an intentional person.
Yes,
he and Vanessa made the pact that they would never be on the helicopter at the same time. Like, it gave me chills. It's giving me chills now. Just the idea that, you know what I mean? Like,
But I also want to, because after, like, the reports, and I'm jumping back a little bit, after the reports came out that Kobe was on the plane and we didn't know who else, or the helicopter, excuse me.
Yeah.
And we didn't know who else was on the helicopter with them. The report that his daughter Gigi was on the plane was, you know, you're already feeling the, like, numbness of hearing about Kobe, but then to hear about his daughter Gigi, who was also a basketball player, who has been affectionately affectionately referred to as Little Mambacita.
I love it. I love it.
To hear about her being on the plane and perishing as well was just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, she was, Kobe Bryant, obviously, he had 4 daughters.
Yeah. Girl dad.
Yeah, girl dad. When he spoke about her, and I saw the interviews of him speaking about her, not being upset that he didn't have a son.
Yeah.
He spoke about how Gigi was being groomed to have that Mamba mentality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she had it, man.
Yeah. I went and looked at some of her clips, and the mannerisms and all of that was just
Tracy McGrady, that was his whole, when they showed him and he was reflecting on Kobe and he started talking about her, like he broke down because he was like, y'all don't understand, like she was literally the second coming of her father. She was going to be great.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he was like, and that's what he said. He was like, her mannerisms, her fadeaway, just stood on the court. He went all through that, and I'm like, man.
Right.
I mean, she looked like a little version of him anyway.
Yeah. It's just, just as we talk about it, just kind of gives me chills,
Yeah.
You started the podcast off saying that, in moments like this, we aren't supposed to question God.
No.
But in our minds, sometimes we wrestle with these things and we think to ourselves like, God, like why? And there's a divine plan.
Absolutely.
For all of us. I
just pray we learn whatever the lesson is.
Right, definitely.
I don't want it to be a waste.
Right. And and I can't tell anybody how to grieve.
No.
The only thing in moments like this I can take solace in is the Bible says that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
Yep.
And I just think about that whenever something like this happens, and I'm like, the selfish part of us, wants the people that we hold dearly to stay, and we want them to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? And so, if we believe what the Bible says, and it does say to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, that is ultimately our goal. But the unknown of, the transition is a thing that makes us fearful of, death in the process and all that. But that's one of the things I took solace in from this. But that seeing Gigi was among the passengers, was just definitely
her and the other girl, three girls on the plane.
It was three young ladies, all 13
years old. You just
haven't even begun to live life yet.
You haven't even started to breathe life yet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the thing that I say too is, if either one of them had to go, I'm glad they had each other.
Yeah.
At that moment, because I think, I'm not trying to get all into this, but I think they said it was like a minute between when the helicopter started to descend and when it hit. So there was that minute.
Yeah.
What was coming, but they had each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched a lot of the analysis of, and I won't get into any of that, but the analysis of the flight pattern and the transcripts, or the back and forth between the control towers and the pilot. And it's hard to take solace in any of this, but it seemed like, from listening to the transcripts or to listening to the back and forth, that it was something that happened very quickly, and that they didn't have an opportunity to be afraid about it or prepare for it. the pilot, even though you couldn't hear his voice towards the end, you could tell that he was still talking to someone on the tower. And then they quickly lost contact. And so I won't get deeply into that, but I think about the idea of being on a plane and it going down and you having to prepare yourself mentally for
exactly.
there is a and so the idea of like it happened quickly enough for it not to be a thing of terror for these kids and his families and all of those that were on board. It feels a little better than the alternative.
Yeah, and no suffering.
Yeah, right.
Me, I'm always about that. Even when it was my parents. No suffering. Like real talk. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah. So but you started this, but just saying, like, we send our deepest condolences and sincerest prayers to every person who was affected by this, because it's more than just it goes on and on and on. There are friends, family members, immediate family, extended family, friends. So it's just fans. I'm not just talking about Kobe. I'm talking about all of them. So it's So we send our deepest condolences.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I was let me because I wanted to make sure we gave all of the passengers the respect due by saying their names so that the people who are listening hear their names. So one,
absolutely,
Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, Gianna Altobelli, who was the baseball coach, his wife Keri and his daughter Alyssa, Christina Mauser, who was the one of the basketball coaches, Sarah Chester and her daughter Payton Chester, and the pilot Ara Zobayan. Rest in peace to you all. Rest in paradise. And again, sincere condolences to your families.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so, obviously this whole podcast is about Kobe Bryant. So, we both want to do it on to the real, and just talk about some of his off the court accomplishments after the game of basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the Oscar.
Yeah.
And the reason it stands out as part of his legacy off the court, it's Oscar, first of all. This is a major accomplishment all in itself. But the fact that this man, whatever he pursued, he did it with such vigor and excellence that when you wrote a poem, that was then turned into this Dear Basketball that then won an Oscar. It just speaks volumes again about his character and who he was, and it should be inspirational. I hope that what it does is it inspires. I think that, and Lord knows God, I don't know what the reason is, but perhaps this is one of them. Is while he was alive, a lot of these things that he did we knew about, but putting it all together in the way that people are paying tribute and showing so much of his what he's done. I'm hoping what it's doing is for young people, that they are inspired to work harder, be dedicated to whatever it is they do, like he was dedicated to whatever he did.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that is at least one thing positive that can come out of this tragedy for us as a whole, is that the young people who are even, it doesn't even have to be a young person, just people period, will take to heart that somebody is who did everything to the best of their ability. You were able to see the benefits of that. You were able to, like, his hard work clearly paid off, and it showed.
Right.
You won championships. You won an Oscar. You know what I mean? Your business was successful. Anything you touched, but I don't think that's a favor. Well, favor could play a part, but I don't think that I feel like that's because he worked so hard. And his thing was to strive for excellence in whatever he did, and it was obvious. And so I hope that people who are listening take the point to work hard for what you believe in or what you want, and there's somewhere you're gonna reap the benefit of that.
It's funny too. He talked about that Oscar meaning more than any of those championship rings. He said, "I'm not supposed to win an Oscar."
I'm Kobe Bryant. Exactly. Like, who? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. I just thought, so for me, that accomplishment was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows that I am very big into investing. Investing in ownership. And so in 2013, Kobe Bryant invested $5 million into a drink named Body Armor. And this drink was created to rival Gatorade as, a drink to, quench thirst and replenish, key electrolytes and all of that. And so in 2013, he made that initial investment of $5 million. Coca-Cola came to the table to invest in the drink. And it took that initial $5 million investment for Kobe up to $200 million. And so there are tons of other investments, but that investment to me meant a lot more because, because I actually drink the drink Body Armor. And it was a drink that I would tell people about, and I would say, while this is a drink to rival Gatorade, it tastes a lot better, and it was made with coconut water. Huh?
It tastes no worse. I hate Gatorade.
Right. So it can't taste no worse, huh?
It tastes no worse.
I was like, yeah, this is a drink you could drink with your dinner. You can drink it, at any point. And it was made with coconut water, which, in my opinion, made it a lot better of a drink, than Gatorade. And so in 2016, when I read the article about the stock, not the stock, but his investment jumping, because it isn't public, I don't believe. The investment jumping, and he seeing that large of a return on his investment, I was like in awe.
Yeah. And
that one article made me want to look deeper into investing, because I had started investing before that point. But seeing that, like, he got that ROI. What can I invest in?
Can I get in?
What can I put my money in? Right. Anybody making a fruit drink or something?
Right.
But Stephen A. Smith told a story about Kobe and his mindset on even business and investing, and it was about Oprah Winfrey.
Mm-hmm.
How he talked to him about, people saying that he was going, Stephen A. Smith, that is, Stephen A. Smith was going to be the next Oprah Winfrey, and he could be Oprah Winfrey of sports. And as Stephen A. Smith told the story, he wanted to make sure that he, all respect due to Oprah, that Kobe was like, no, forget Oprah, Harpo,
exactly,
the production company.
Yeah, that's right.
And so just that mindset on ownership, and being the owner of the content, not just the content creator,
right,
was something that Kobe preached into in his small circles, in his circle of friends. And so that's on to the real for you,
Hey.
Going out and winning an Oscar in a field that you weren't even supposed to be privy to, and investing in building wealth, and generational wealth. Folks talk about being rich and they talk about having money.
That ain't rich.
Nah.
That ain't rich.
No, it's rich. It ain't wealthy.
$800 million is not rich, sir.
That wealth, that generational wealth.
Well,
and, not feeling like you have to show it.
No.
Or be verbose about it.
No, not at all.
Not
at all. But that's what people who have real money do. They don't have to show it.
Right.
For what?
Right.
It's actually the opposite. They don't want to.
Right. I don't want nobody to know I got this money.
Nobody needs to know this here.
Especially the government.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, he's pretty special. He was a pretty special dude. So I'm Pastor John Gray. He posted a video. I don't know if you saw it. I posted it on Instagram. I mean, no, I didn't. I didn't post it. Did I post? No, I didn't. I didn't post it on Instagram. But
okay.
he shared a video where he talked about, if you go read, is it Psalms 24:8?
Okay. Hold on, let's go see what that say.
Because I think
taking you out of church.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Who is this King of Glory?
Who is the King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O gates, and lift them up, O ancient doors. But anyway, But who is the King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. And he said Kobe was a king.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go watch it because he broke this thing all the way down. He even talked about, he said, back then in biblical times, what did kings put on? Purple robes.
Oh, that's right.
And they wore
purple
gold.
And gold were the colors of royalty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said he may not have even realized how much of a king he was on this earth. And it just blew me away. I mean, it was way deeper than what I'm saying, but it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, golly. It's just, this one, we're going to feel this one for a while. We're going to feel this one for a while.
I know.
No doubt.
So I was a fan of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I was in shock when Michael Jackson passed away. But Michael Jackson was, a little before my time. Like, he still affected me.
It hit harder than it would have hit you because
but the sting of this for me was a kind of in that same vein of Nipsey Hussle's like untimely demise. and because it felt really sudden.
It was unexpected.
Yeah, it was unexpected, and you just didn't, you just didn't see that. And for both of them, the news articles were so shocking because I remember sitting looking at my phone with Nipsey Hussle, and I was like, Nipsey Hussle shot, and I was like, it was TMZ, and I was like, nah, TMZ tripping. There's ain't no way, you know. And so this one stings for me like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and both LA dudes,
Right.
it's just like, whoa, this is deep. But yeah. I have a quote that he wrote that he said that I thought was really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's basketball, and then after basketball, I think related. He said, new championships come and go. Now, championships come and go. There's going to be another team that wins another championship, another player that was another MVP award. But if you really want to create something that lasts generations, you have to help inspire the next generation. Mm-hmm. And they create something great. And then that generation will inspire the one behind them. And that's when you create something forever. And that's what's most beautiful. Mm. He did that.
Yeah.
He's done his part in what he said. He has done his part in what he said.
This is true.
I just thought it was so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Okay. Okay.
Feel good final thought.
All right.
And actually you came up with this one. And it's funny when I went to dig and look some more at all of what he was attempting to do and all he had accomplished. Not just that he was attempting and nothing got done, but all that he was attempting to do and all that had gotten accomplished.
Yeah.
With his fight for equity for women in basketball.
Yeah.
I was floored. I had absolutely no idea.
Tell them what you learned.
I had absolutely no idea. Tell them what you
learned, Jarrett.
Yes. Had absolutely no idea that he was a part of the negotiations for this new CBA for the WNBA. I was floored when I did a little research to find that out because we talked about it on here. Mm-hmm. This was, as far as viewership and bringing in money, this was probably the worst season for the WNBA, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. But these women received a higher pay, more of the pie from the owners.
Yeah.
They received, we talked about all that they received.
Yeah.
But they received all of these things that will allow most of them to be able to play their season and not have to worry about going overseas to make more money.
Right.
And just to know that Kobe Bryant was a part of that was
he used his influence.
Yes.
He knew people respected who he was immensely when it came to the sport.
Yeah.
And he used that for that purpose. And I know that his motivation was, if I start this now, by the time Gigi is ready,
it's time for her.
Things will be different.
Right.
It'll be better. The WNBA will still exist even. You know what I mean? So and even at that, I read something where he talked about how he felt like there were actually players in the WNBA that he thought could play in the NBA.
Yes.
Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he talked about and I'm a huge Candace fan.
Yeah.
So Maya Moore.
Yeah.
So I just applaud that he took on that fight because he could easily have just been whatever.
Yeah.
Because he got his money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But to take that such a highly charged issue because it is such a highly charged issue on. And what I hope that happens from this is, I know Derek Fisher talked about kind of picking up this mantle.
Yeah.
Because he said he didn't want the traction that Kobe had gotten in all of the hard work he had put in to just die, because you know what I mean? Right. So I hope that they really do I hope that several of them
to pick up this
I would love to see Shaq get involved.
I was just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Shaq get involved. I hope that many of them pick the mantle up to carry this forward, to see that these women receive everything that they deserve. That they get everything that they deserve. I mean, I'm talking NBA, WNBA, jobs, careers, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see it happen, and I hope that that goes forward. Really, you know, when we're in our emotional state, we talk a lot of stuff. I hope that people follow through. Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, because this is awesome. It's just it blows me away to know that, you know, there are some people who are just special.
Yeah.
We're all special, but they got a little something extra dust. You know what I'm saying on them? Some fairy dust or something. And he was just one of those dudes. And between his personality and his mind and his talent, my God, like, good grief. So that, of course, you know, our barometer for feel good final thought is always the eyeball sweat or the smiling. This is one of them. I'm definitely smiling.
It's both.
Eyeball sweat because he's not here to continue to do what he started, but smiling at the fact that
what he got started and what he accomplished. Yeah.
So, off subject, off Kobe for a second. What's her name? Why can't I think of the child's name? Lord, I knew I was going to do this. The coach. First, shout out to the first female coach to coach in a Super Bowl for the 49ers.
Oh, yes. You know what? I just saw a video on her.
I can't, like, it's just,
there was a video talking about how much she loved football.
From the time she was little.
Yes.
Yeah. She was like, there's a commercial with her where she reads where she said when she was a little girl, she wrote on something, I'm going to play football in the NFL one day. And so just side note, because the Super Bowl is coming up this weekend and I didn't want time to go. I know this was dedicated to Kobe, but I still wanted to shout her out for
Katie Sowers.
What's her name?
Katie Sowers.
Katie Sowers, that's her. Yes. So shout out to Katie Sowers for this amazing opportunity and accomplishment for her.
Yeah.
Okay. Man. Well, this has been a heavy one.
Yeah, we made it through it without
I had
sobbing. I saw you. You held it together.
Choke it back a couple of times.
Yeah, you held it together. I just closed my eyes when I got, I don't need y'all to see my eyeballs.
Yeah, so rest in peace to, like you said earlier, to everyone who was on that helicopter. And Kobe Bean Bryant, you will be missed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening, I don't know how you were affected by this tragedy, how it made you feel, what it made you feel. But I hope that you use the example of Kobe's life to seize the days.
And even the mortality.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't
know the hour.
Day to day, the hour.
Yeah.
When it's going to be our time.
Don't put off something tomorrow that you could do today.
Absolutely.
live every day like it should last. Like, I know this is a lot of cliches.
The cliches, but they mean so much.
They mean so much at a time like this, you know, because we don't know when the last days is and when the last day is, and we want to, you know, cherish each day.
Yeah.
You know, not rushing through each day as if like, let's get this day over, because we don't know when the last day will be. So,
right.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
We thank you guys for continuing to listen and continuing to stay with us. I just checked the numbers, and some more people who've been listening. Thank you guys.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah. So, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
As always, if you want to connect with us, you can hit us up on IG at Field to the Real, on Twitter at Field to the Real, through our email, fieldtothereal@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And just, you know, interact with us. You know, we love you guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate your opinions.
Yes.
And stop just texting them to me. Shoot Stephanie a DM, letting her know that you feel like she's really right all the time. Because I don't want to hear it in my text messages. Thank you. But again, you know, I can't say this enough. We love you guys.
Yeah. And Jarrett, let me say this. I love you, man.
I love you too.
Because we don't say it.
We definitely don't say it enough.
As people in general. So, you know, I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, Stephanie.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate you.
Yeah.
It won't happen by the time of our next podcast, but it will be really close. But guys, Stephanie has a birthday coming up.
Oh God.
So, we're gonna have to do something special for Stephanie.
Oh God. Anyway.
And I'll put like some special instructions on the IG page. Stephanie will see it. I can't block her.
I was gonna say, how am I going to see the instructions?
But I'll put this special instructions up, and we'll send Stephanie some love for her birthday.
Oh, thank you, Jarrett.
But yeah, peace.
Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.